Welcome to Ouch. Was that a ghost? This podcast may contain graphic material, which some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Help me.
Now that we covered that, here's your host, Liz.
Welcome back to Ouch Without a Toes. Back again is Natty.
What up, suckers?
From Cloaked and Cosmic and co-host of Creep It Weird with me.
Whoop whoop! I know, we're awesome.
Yes.
We will see how this goes. So we're not doing aliens. We're not doing conspiracies, but you're going to find out here in a minute what we're hitting up with.
Actually, there's one suspected conspiracy in this whole thing, but I didn't even include it. I'll mention it, but that's it. But I didn't go down it at all because it's not really substantiated that much. It's just like more whispered about.
Oh, gotcha.
So today we're covering the House of Faces.
Ooh, I don't think I've heard of this one.
It's a highly debated haunting, or could be a hoax, that lasted over 30 years in the small village of Belmez de la... I think I definitely spelled that wrong. Well, it's called Belmez for short, and it's located in southern Spain.
What's funny is a lot of times if I have names that are confusing, I'll use like Google whatever to pronounce it. And then I literally type in the box, like sound it out. So that way I don't like oopsie. And so like you'll see in my notes, it'll be like going. And then all of a sudden you have like this breakdown of like something dash something dash something. Yeah.
Well, this was a last minute switch because I was going to do another one, but it stressed me out. So this is a last minute episode. So it's not that long, but it's really interesting, I think. Hopefully you do too.
Well, it sounds pretty interesting. So I'm ready to learn about it.
On August 23rd, 1971 in Belmez, 52-year-old Maria Gomez Camara, she lived in this it was like a really small village. That's how Belmez is set up. So everyone kind of knows everybody. She grew up there. Like she lived right down the street from her childhood home. That's where she got her house. And everyone in the village liked and respected Maria. So Maria was in her kitchen and she noticed a stain on her concrete floor. This doesn't sound very exciting as it's starting, but it is a good story. She knew it was not there before, and she knew she hadn't spilt anything. She didn't know what it was, so she was like, I'm just going to wipe it up. She tried to wipe it up, but nothing happened. She tried to scrub it, nothing happened.
It's concrete. It's hard to get stains out of concrete. But I would go ahead and we're going to go ahead and throw something out here to start with. I know that we just started, but I want to know more details about the stain. Are we talking... It looked like a rust stain? Did it look like blood stain? I mean, what kind of stain are we talking? Because that's different levels of oh shit that could be happening.
It was more like a blob on the concrete, but not wet.
Okay.
Like picture like a darker gray on it, but you put your hands over it and nothing is like...
Like if you get grease on it, you get grease on it. See, that's what I'm wondering. Like, because, if you're in a garage and you spill motor fluid, because I don't have to say the word, it's going to leave that black stain on your concrete. You can pour some clearer stuff on it and there's going to be, it looks like it's wet, but it's not wet. But like I was saying, or it could be, what if it's a blood stain? Because then I'd be a lot more concerned than if it was smelling like automotive stuff or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, she tried everything. She tried bleach. Nothing worked. Sorry, I'm mixing my Crystal Light real quick. I'm just going to do it fast. So she tried everything and nothing. I don't think it smelt funky to her. Nothing was said about that. But actually at the end, when we're done talking about this first, I'm going to show you a picture of it so you can actually see what it becomes.
Okay, cool.
She tried scrubbing it any way she could, different cleaning things, nothing happened. And the more she looked at the stain, the more she realized that it looked kind of like a human face.
Oh no, it's Jesus in the toast.
That's what I thought.
It's Jesus toast.
I always think of Jesus on the Cheez-It and Virgin Mary on the toast.
Oh, it was Virgin Mary on the toast. My bad. Wrong religious icon on the toast.
Yeah.
Religious icon on the toast.
So she called her husband Juan and her son Miguel in the room to make sure that she wasn't just seeing things. And they both confirmed that, yeah, it looked like a face.
I want to know what kind of face. Are we talking smiley face? Are we talking grimace? Maybe it's giving you that sexy eye.
I will send you a picture of what it actually looks like right now.
I wish you guys could see the video. Are we posting videos on the Patreon?
Actually, I have to start doing that. I'll do it.
You can see me trying to do the sexy eye. I can't raise my eyebrow, but it's real entertaining, I'm sure, to watch. And you look cute as crap today, so.
I don't think so, but thank you.
I wish I could roll out of bed looking like that. I'm just saying.
So this is the first picture. I'm going to send it to you now. And if you guys want to see it, just look up Belmez faces, the first one.
Oh, that's creepy as shit. It almost looks like he's got a weird mustache or the really fat cheeks or something.
Yeah, I can't really tell if it's supposed to be like the skin flap or a mustache.
Yeah, it almost looks like when your face is like your cheeks are super puffy.
Mm-hmm.
You have those lines on both sides. I love how it even looks like it's got a lip. It looks like it's got pupils. Yeah. If you look at it just right, it might be Jesus staying on the floor. If you squint your eyes, European Jesus.
It's one of those things, when you squint your eyes and then you look at the wall and it's supposed to appear. But it wasn't this dark at first. This was over days it appeared and like darkened.
Oh. Okay, that's really weird.
So it like got more defined tone. Like you said, pupils started appearing, just like really tightening up the artistry, I guess. And some people do bring up pareidolia.
Oh, yes.
That psychological phenomenon way.
That's exactly what I was thinking, too.
So anyone that doesn't know, it's where you see faces in objects. Like I always think of if you get up to go to the bathroom, you see a pile of towels and you think that there's like a person's head sitting there, at the top of it looking at you.
Well, they do say that psychologically there's a reason for that. And I'm trying to remember exactly how it went, but it was something along the lines of we are programmed over our evolution, if you believe in that. We have adapted to being familiar. You want to be around familiar things so that you feel safe. And you want to see, like, you're looking for something. Kind of like if you're a dog and you're in a zoo, you're going to be looking for something that looks like a dog so that you can feel familiar. You get that comfort. You feel safe and you feel like you're a part of something. So we are genetically predisposed to seek out faces and look for things that are similar to us. And I think that's what it was as far as pareidolia is concerned. I'm full of fun facts.
Done it myself. Like if you're out in the forest or something, you can look at trees and think that you see a face out of the knots.
On my social media, this is so funny. On one of the posts that I put, I remember I was going to the bathroom in my old house and we had this marble floor. And all I saw was like, it almost looks like a beaver or something holding a gun. And I took a picture of it and then I traced it to show what I saw when I looked at it. I think it's on my social media. So go see if you can find it on there. And if you can, comment and see if you can see it as well.
A packing beaver. Okay.
Yep. That's what it looked like.
So Maria was fed up with this, and so was Juan and Miguel, her husband and her son. And she got them to break up this creepy thing. They used a pickaxe and a whole bunch of different tools, smashed it all up, which is a good idea. I mean, if there's something that doesn't look right in your house, just get rid of it, burn it, do what you gotta do.
You mean release the soul that's trapped in your floor? Yeah, that's a great idea.
Oh, no, that's probably not a good idea. To me, I'm like, yeah, that's genius.
That's like burning a Ouija board. You just don't do it.
Live and learn. So they re-poured the concrete, and now the face was gone. Maria could go back in her kitchen, cook, use it, and without that thing staring at her.
Mm-hmm.
A week passed, and a new, different face, not the same one, formed on the kitchen floor.
There's more?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
This one had a completely different face. It almost looks like a...
We're Googling.
I don't know if I should send you each individual. There's so many.
Belmez.
I'm going to tell you now.
I'll just Google it.
There's over 1,000 faces that appear.
Oh, here's one with a bunch of them. Okay.
But it's like a profile of a man is the second one.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I see there's a couple of them that actually look like children. There's a couple that look like women that I'm seeing. One almost looks like a zombie. It's really hard to see. I feel like that one probably should not have been left in. But there's a couple on here that look like art. It looks like something you'd see in like the Sistine Chapel, or I can't say that word, but the chapel. It looks like something that somebody drew in that like Renaissance time.
Like charcoal art almost.
And they're clear. Yeah, they're very clear and prominent on what you're looking at.
And like I said, this face completely different from the first one and having a completely different expression. There were times where more faces would appear and others would fade away.
That's so weird.
And she ended up confiding in family and friends because she was a believer in the paranormal and she didn't know what to do.
So I want to throw this out there. If you're Googling these faces, I found one that's got dates. So it's got the year that these faces were seen. And one thing I think is interesting is there's one that kind of looks like an old man looking to like his right, which would be your left if you're looking at the photo. And it looks like it's showing up. Like the same person or like essence is showing up in 72, 74, and in 2005. And then that creepy one that you first showed me is 72.
That picture of the man is preserved, and I'll explain why in a minute. And he is actually, that's out of the ground, and that has changed. Those 3 photos show the progression over the years, and it's behind glass.
Yeah, there's one from 71, one from 72, and one from 73, and it's all identical faces.
But it changed if you look at the tone on them, and that's over 3 years, and that's sealed up behind glass.
That is, yeah, it definitely looks like some are, it's like becoming more prominent. You're getting more shading and more of that face shape in it. And for that to be out like inside glass, that is so weird.
But you would think maybe it would fade the other way, like lose definition once it's sealed up, but it's doing the other, which is very strange. But yeah, people around town heard about these faces and they started showing up at Maria's house wanting to see this face for themselves. Some thinking it's like evil.
Mm-hmm.
And some thinking it's a blessing because it was a very religious area. And small town, I keep saying and word gets around, sparking widespread speculation, and it even piqued the mayor's interest. Maria was ready to break open the floor again, as I would, and burn the Ouija board. But the mayor made it against the law to break it.
What? You can do that?
I guess he can.
I'd be like, this is my house, mother trucker. Like, what the hell's going on here?
He wanted to keep the face intact so it can be preserved and studied. And that's the side profile photo that you saw.
Yeah, which is insane.
They came to an agreement that he would cut that piece of the kitchen concrete floor out in order to keep the face preserved so it could be studied, and then she could take it out of the floor.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is that once it was out and secured behind glass, she hung it on her wall in her house.
Why would you do that? It's like, okay. I mean, it does. Some of them do look like art, so I can see some of them being like that. But some of them, I'm like, why would you want this creepy ass face on your wall?
And more like I want it out of my house, but no, you can put it on the wall. It goes good in the living room.
Do the eyes follow you like Scooby-Doo style?
I feel like they would.
Oh, yeah.
So her house gained the name La Casa de las Caras.
That sounded fancy.
The House of the Faces. So her house is now the House of the Faces.
Which is fitting.
Faces continue to appear in the new cement kitchen flooring because they just pulled that piece out to hang it on her wall. And sometimes overnight new faces would appear, but sometimes they'd appear slowly in front of witnesses' eyes. They could be male, female, some were young, some were old. And a lot of the paintings would morph and would literally move around the kitchen floor.
I'm telling you, I've got the best theory for this.
Do you want to say it now?
Okay, we can. So what if basically this floor, something about this floor is thinning of the veil, right? So you have these spirits that can come to the surface and manifest themselves into the concrete. And that's why you're seeing all these different ones. It's because it's all these different souls. And what if these individual ones that are showing themselves to visitors are their loved ones or something like that that's trying to come through to contact them? And that's why they're changing with the different people coming in to look at them. And that's how they're able to move around on the floors, because maybe that portal is a little bit wider than what you would imagine.
I love that you have such an open mind with everything. I go in like the complete opposite. Like, did they use lemon juice?
Crack.
Lemon juice affects concrete. Like, I'm going the complete scientific.
Cover all the bases here.
No, I love that you do that you look at that, everything like that. Like, what could it be? You know?
Hey, well, you never know.
Yeah, that's true. You can't prove that it's not.
And what if that one face shows up? So all the other spirits are like, oh, you're full of crap. Like, what are you doing? Whatever. And so then they escape, right? Because she breaks him up and she frees that soul. And even though he's not going far, maybe that's another reason why all these other ones are showing up, because they're like, hey, it's a way to get out. So they're all trying to get out.
That's a good theory.
It's like this weird Ghostbusters holding cell.
Top of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they would move around. Sometimes it would be by the stove, and then the next day it could be by the wall. And by March of 1972, hundreds of people and plenty of media had gone to the house of the faces to see for themselves. There's tons of photographs that are online now by the media or by people. So at first I was looking at them and seeing like some look so different, but I think everyone's using different cameras. So that could be why different lighting are on different photos, you know?
That's true. I mean, think about a photo that you could take on, say, an iPhone 16 versus like a Nokia peanut phone.
Yeah, this was in 1970, so I'm picturing, 72. So I'm picturing like those, you know, the cameras that you click, like the Kodaks.
The Polaroid?
No, the handheld, and you didn't know what you got until you dropped it off at the store.
Yeah, and you can put those big giant bulb flashers on it. Yeah.
So like I said, the faces were fading, new ones appearing, and some would morph. Like one day it wouldn't have a mustache, but the next day it would have one. Or it would be young today and old tomorrow. Or facial expressions would change, like happy today, but then petrified the next day.
Oh, yeah, that's creepy as hell.
And the one that they removed and hung on the wall has changed over time. I was going to explain that, but I mean, you looked it up, and I'm sure everyone else can too. It's the man like side profile, and you can see the progression over time.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna hop the fence, and I'm gonna jump on your side of the fence for a moment.
Okay.
If you pour something onto a surface like concrete, it is somewhat porous. So after time, it could just be seeping through and spreading, and that might be what's causing the shadowing type thing on the face. There's my skepticism.
Okay, thank you.
Skeptic Natty over here.
Some people were still flooding the house, intrigued, leaving baffled at what these faces were and why they were there. And some articles say that Maria was charging people to see the faces, while some say that she was not. So I don't know, take that how you will. But it was said that she did sell merchandise, like pictures of the faces that she took.
Hey, man, you got to make money when you can.
Seriously.
I'd be like, hey, y'all come check this shit out. You're never going to believe this.
Natasha's Funhouse.
Yeah, I know. Well, we basically have a Natasha's Funhouse. We'll get to that later.
So some skeptical, believing that the family was fabricating the faces, while others thought that it was some sort of supernatural apparition. Investigators went out and asked Maria if they could take some samples from the floor, looking for a reason why this was happening or a way to debunk it, and she agreed. In the sample that was tested, a bunch of chemicals were found, including trace chemicals that are found in paint and some chemicals that could change over time if left on cement.
Okay.
But this wouldn't explain the paintings moving, and especially in front of people. Like, how could you do that?
Exactly.
And it wouldn't explain how they disappeared.
Yeah. And then reappeared in the next year in the same form. That's what gets me. Now, if it was disappeared and it never came back, that's one thing. But if it disappears and then it comes back a year later...
Come back would be different. They wouldn't be the same.
Well, that one with the guy looking sideways was from 3 separate years.
Well, that's the same photo. They just took 3 photos of it because that's the one that's mounted behind the glass. So it's just showing what happened to it over time and how it's changed.
The one that's straight on has a few years, and then the one that's like the old man looking sideways also has a few years. So did they take both out?
I'm not sure. They may have more than one out, but actually there's some that are still there now. I was going to say that at the end. But that could have been that one too, if it's still there. So a section of the Spanish government decided that they were going to try to figure out what was going on. The Minister of Interior appointed a team of specialists of concrete chemistry.
I'm just laughing. It sounds like an interior decorator. The interior is like, wait, what?
So they headed to Maria's house. They carried out this really extensive investigation, and they did a report on it.
I'm still just... The fact that the government got involved, that's what's kind of weird. I mean, maybe things are different in their country, but I don't think the government would get involved with something sketchy like that here in the States.
I don't think so either.
Other than to get you mental help.
If that, I don't even think they'll do that.
Throw her in a home.
But yeah, they did this extensive investigation, and then they did the report. You're not going to ask what the report said?
Well, I figured you were just going to go into it. I was going to let you go. Just roll with it.
It's missing.
It's missing?
Yeah. So then the Spanish
What?
government sent out another team who did an investigation, and they did a report on it.
Did it go missing too?
They won't say what happened on it. So
What?
this is the one conspiracy that there is. I think it's called, I want to say Operation Trident.
I was going to say Concrete Gate.
That would be a better one. They think that the government knows what it was, whether a hoax or something real, and they just won't say anything.
I feel like if it was a hoax, they would have probably said something.
Either way, what are they losing by keeping it to themselves? What's the point?
Well, it depends on how nefarious it could be. Like, what if they've seen the same thing happen in other areas that might be thinner in the veil perspective? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or what if it's something where they're like trying to harness these spirits in some sort of way and it's leaking in over to her house and they're like, oh shit, like this is our bad. Oh crap, we don't fess up to anything because we're the government.
They're spying on everyone's kitchens. That's hilarious.
Right?
So more investigators went out. This was private, non-governmental. And they actually sealed off the kitchen, literally like put seals around it so nobody could go in or out. Nobody could mess with the floor. They put audio surveillance around to make sure that they'd hear if anyone was trying to go in. And they left this closed off for 3 months. And when it was opened, there were new faces on the floor. So this kind of showed them that it wasn't Maria and her family doing it.
Yeah. How did they eat dinner if their kitchen was closed off for that long?
Hopefully they found a friend to stay with.
That's what I was like, wait a minute. You wouldn't be able to eat anything.
Yeah. Hotel. Maybe they paid for it.
Lots of takeout.
Yeah, plenty of takeout. So the kitchen was a mystery, and they didn't know what was causing these faces, chemicals beneath, whatever. So a team was assembled, and they were going to dig up the kitchen floor. And once they went a few feet down, they found a human bone.
Oh, shit.
And then they found more bones and more bones.
Shit.
It was a mass grave under the home, and it was all decapitated bodies.
What? Are we sure they were decapitated? Or maybe, like, I wonder if there's any way that it could have, over time, detached the head from the skeleton.
The heads weren't there, though. They've never been found.
Oh, I just thought it was like the heads were not. Well, that was. Okay, are you hearing that? It just like got super choppy as I was talking, like almost like when you have a bad radio signal.
Oh, no, you sounded fine to me.
You know, like when you're trying to fake a phone call being dropped?
Yeah.
That's what it just sounded like in my headphones.
Tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it sounded like. That's why I was like, whoa, hold on.
No, you sounded fine to me.
Okay.
Yeah, so the bodies were there for a few hundred years at least. And they looked into who these headless people could be, and they found out that in the 1200s, I don't know why early years like that are so weird to me.
That is weird.
In the 1200s, this was a cemetery, but as the land was getting populated, people needed houses. So the gravestones were just removed, and they just built over.
They didn't move the bodies?
No.
Oh, my God. Okay, so there is in Nashville, Tennessee, there is a spot where there used to be a cemetery. And they had to talk to all the people and get permission from all the residents to move all of the bodies and the headstones to a different area so that they could build around it. Like there's a parking lot and all that. But there's one headstone that they refused to give rights away to move it. So they just built around it. And what's crazy is again, if you go check out my social media and scroll through, it looks like it almost looks like a Mary Poppins silhouette that's on the headstone. And there were probably, I think there was maybe 15, 20 of us all looking at it and taking photos. But my camera's the only one that showed a person. Nobody else even had a shadow.
Oh my gosh.
It was insane. And I had like, even the lady that was hosting or like running the little tour was like, please send me that because that is insane. Because she said that she's not seen it before.
So the person was like, you're not moving me. And they just came out to make sure no one's touching the gravestone?
Maybe. I don't know. Because it was so high up, we couldn't go up and look to see who it was or what the name was. It's just, you see it through the trees. It was just peeking out. And like I said, everybody else was taking photos and looking at it and nobody got anything except on mine. I got like 2 photos of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're a magnet.
I am a magnet.
So some thought maybe these were the faces, and they ended up excavating the remains and actually gave them a proper burial, which was very nice.
Oh, good. That doesn't usually happen.
Right? Maria's kitchen was repoured with cement, and her kitchen was back to normal. The end. No, I'm just kidding. The
I'm
faces
like,
kept
damn.
appearing.
I was like, that was a buzzkill.
For decades, the faces kept appearing. Up until 85-year-old Maria died in 2004, and no more faces appeared at her house. But they did appear at her childhood home, only the day she died, and then the faces just stopped completely.
Okay, that's bizarre. Maybe she's a conduit. Kind of like I have things following me all the time. Maybe she was like that. They just manifested differently.
That's sort of a theory. Most of the pictures of the faces have faded, but some do remain in her house on the floor and that one on the wall that's behind the glass. They had an investigator, a forensic criminalist, try to replicate the images using theories of how it was done with concrete solvents, hydrochloric acid, and silver nitrate, but he couldn't. This is a stupid theory, but some suggest it was the sun's UV rays, which darkened it. But, I mean, even if it darkens it, it's not going to draw a face.
It would have darkened the whole thing.
We're ignoring that one. Another theory being that Maria, whether conscious of doing it or not, she was making the images through the psychic ability of thoughtography. This is a phenomenon which certain people possess. It's the ability to transfer an image that you have in your mind onto a surface. So maybe Maria had powers and didn't know, or maybe she did know.
That's pretty badass, though. It's like a weird version of that automatic writing. You know what I mean? Where it takes over and you can make something. But it's almost like when you would, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not the word I'm looking for, but process those old photos in the dark room where there's nothing there, but then it like slowly comes to the surface with the chemicals reacting to it.
But if she could mentally do that, that's insane. And
that's pretty cool.
I'm trying to think of who it was, but that side profile, I guess, looks very close to her uncle or her ex-brother-in-law or it's somebody that she knows. So that kind of reinforces that it's like a memory she had that she brought up.
Mine would be, how often did she think about it, though?
He died like 40 or 30 years before.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it was something where you thought about it all the time and you were manifesting it, that's one thing. But if it was like Uncle Bob that you think about maybe on the day he died, if even that, like maybe not even every year.
But she has like 1,000 faces that came up. So just one of them, maybe she saw something that made her think of him if she was doing that. You know how like a smell or a holiday or something can put someone in your mind.
That is true. We were actually just talking about this. I was just talking about this with my boyfriend today about, he said that he gets phantom smells.
I do too.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's probably just a smell that I'm like, no. I'm like, it's probably someone that you know. I said, has anybody passed away that you know of that has been around you when you smelled that same smell? And he was like, yes. And I said, well, it's probably that person like checking up on you. And that's how you're associating that with whatever you're thinking of.
I've smelled my mother, like, for whatever reason, she's popped up.
I've got an old dude that smells like cigarette smoke. It's kind of gross.
That's not a good smell.
I'd much rather smell, a good smell.
Mm-hmm.
I smell a smell, the kind of smell that smells smelly.
The real ones know.
Yeah, right?
Some say this whole thing was a hoax created to make some money, which you can't really discredit that if there's money involved, too. That kind of sways my...
Yeah, I agree, especially if it's something where if they had knowledge and they could make it look just enough like a face. And then once you get that idea in your head, it's hard to unsee it.
But yeah, this has never been explained or fully debunked. Whatever it is and whatever the Belmez faces were, some still remain, although they're faded. It's still a popular site for paranormal enthusiasts to visit and decide for themselves. So if we ever are in Spain, me and you are going.
I wonder if anybody's taken equipment, like interactive equipment. So kind of like when I use my cat balls when we do our spirit box sessions, I wonder if anybody's taken in stuff like that where if there are spirits, they could actually interact as opposed to just showing up on the concrete. That'd be interesting to know.
I didn't see anything, but like I said, this was a last minute thing because I was going to do another, but I got frustrated. So I just did a quick one because I wanted to do this for a while. I never heard of it. Somebody requested it and I was like, this is kind of cool.
That is pretty cool. So we both have decided we would both visit the House of Faces.
100%. And I'd be the one chipping away at the cement getting haunted.
I mean, it is better than, say, things flying off the wall or scratches on your back or something more, what is it, malevolent or whatever, whichever one's the bad one. It'd be kind of interesting to know if anything else happened or if it was just the faces and they just didn't want to bring it up. But I would much rather have faces in my concrete than dishes flying across my room.
I don't know, just feeling being watched. I just probably wouldn't go in that room. If it's only in the kitchen, I'd be like, okay, so now I grill or I don't eat.
Or like put tile down. Get some linoleum and cover that shit up. Just walk it on someone's face. Boot stomp their ass.
I know. What do? You can't walk. Well, I guess you could, but that would be so weird.
What is it? Don't step on a crack or you break your mother's back. What happens if you step on a ghostly face in the concrete?
Hopefully you don't fall in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, can you imagine? It like turns into this like quicksand and you just get sucked into the portal. Oh, and then you're trapped in there.
And then your face is right there.
Yeah. And you're like, wait a minute, this looks just like her.
The other thing too is they have audio, which I couldn't find a good clip of, but they did record in there and they have these screams that are recorded in the background.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, and there's some of those faces look like little kids.
Yeah, they have some weird ones. Some are like naked people. Some are skeleton looking. Some are like demonic looking.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty widespread on what they are.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It might be different entities that are coming through. Would you move if you found out your house was buried on an old cemetery that they did not move the bodies on?
Yes.
You'd move?
That's so, yeah, because you're disrespecting them and you didn't even know you did, but now you're in it, so.
What if you couldn't afford to get a new house?
I can afford a tent.
Yeah, I'd rather live in the house than live in a tent. Indoor plumbing, yo. Just saying. Does a Melissa shit in the woods? Only when her house is haunted.
She does if there's faces on the floor.
What if, can you imagine, like, if they, like, reached out? Or what if they started, like, talking to you or something? Like, she was hearing whispers in her mind or something when they showed up?
I'm picturing, like, the nose slowly rising. Because they're, like, laying flat. You just see it come up a little bit.
Like when you stick your nose on the window?
Yeah.
Pig style?
But I'll be in the woods. You'll be in there dealing with that.
Like, hey, Melissa, come look at this one. Come look at this one.
So what do you think?
I'm still sticking with what if the veil's thin and it's some sort of... So kind of like they say that mirrors are portals and you can see spirits through mirrors because it's like that in-between space. I wonder if where they were seeing it in the concrete was in, say, a doorway or something like that, where it is that in-between. So it's even extra, happening right there. But I really like the theory that it's thinner and it's these spirits that are able to come to the surface and try to get out. Like they're trying to find a way out. And if that's the case, that would lean a whole lot of credence to being in purgatory.
Ooh.
Like what if they're in purgatory and they're trying to get out? And it's just that's just a weak spot that they can at least try to get out. And then she's over here hacking them out of the ground and helping them.
He's like, I got out. And then he's just mounted on the wall.
Is this better or worse? I still want to know if they Scooby-Doo watch you, because that would be even more creepy.
Well, if you look at the paintings, they're like almost charcoal drawings. So those would appear like they're following you.
Yeah, like walk around and it's like got that weird...
Like haunted mansion.
Anybody watching
eyeballs.
the video? We're doing the eyeballs. People on the video, you're welcome. Yeah, I think that's where I'm sticking with is the thinning of the portal and the spirits being able to manifest somewhat into the concrete.
I'm right down the middle in this, just because the money was involved, is what's like, and knowing that she was selling like pictures and stuff.
But how hard would it be to come up with that? I mean, was she some crazy artist or something that we don't know about? Because some of those look like professional paintings, but you see the ground.
The difference of like not that great onto better. So maybe she was sneaking off, taking a class at the community college.
Yeah, maybe one has more energy than the other, and that's why it's clear. More paranormal gusto.
It was in the 70s. She was probably like a housewife, and all she did was like cook and clean for her family.
Yeah.
This was like her
and I mean,
entertainment.
But think about it. like I said, you put something in concrete and it seeps and it spreads and the lines are blurry and things are going to be distorted. So it would be so difficult to make these faces appear so clear, in my opinion.
It's weird that they sharpen up over time, not just like spread out. Because in my
Yeah.
mind, it would be like you drop it, it would kind of spread.
And what if it's, I think I see it, then you have all these people coming in and they say when you talk about it, when you think about it, when you're giving energy to it, you're making it stronger.
That's true.
So maybe that's how it keeps getting clearer and clearer, is because it's getting that extra energy and you're giving it that and manifesting it even more so than it was to start with.
So it could have started as like a, what is it, pareidolia, and then just manifested through her energy. I like that one.
Yeah. And then the more people that came to look at it, the stronger it got and the more clear it was able to become.
I like that.
See, I like that one. We're going with that one. That's final answer.
Yeah, but that's all I got. It's not that long. It's just, I think it's super interesting. And if you guys get a chance, I'd definitely go online and just look up the photos. There's so many of them. And
yeah, I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can save one of those photos and I'll see if I can post it on social media. So you guys can just go over there, go to the profile and check it out. You guys can kind of leave a comment on there. If you see it, if you don't see it, do you think that it's fake or whatever? You can just go ahead and we can have a little discussion about it.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Natasha.
Natasha. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is cool. I am totally about this stuff. The weird and the strange and the unexplained is definitely up my alley, and all of that stuff. But I was going to tell you about this weird instance, and I think I might have told you about it earlier. I don't think I shared it on the show, though. So a couple weeks ago, I was sitting in my room, minding my beeswax, watching TV and working on my notes for the podcast, because that's what I do in the middle of the night because I work nights. And out of nowhere, it sounded like my light started flickering next to me on the bed. My lamp did. Then it sounded like 3 scratches in my wall, which we all know how that is.
Oh, no. Nope.
Then on top of that, my shower curtain just goes bam and smashes to the ground. Not like it fell lightly. I mean, it crashed to the ground. So much so that when the thing scratched, my dogs also turned. So we were all looking in the corner of this room that's empty, which is only like 3 feet from me at the time. And then the shower curtain falls, scares the dogs, and then they just keep staring in the bathroom. It's so weird. And then my dog's got a perimeter collar that keeps him out of a certain room, so he's not allowed in the studio. So it's on the opposite side of the house. So if he gets near it, it'll beep. And then if he still doesn't back up, it'll zap him. And this dog was sitting on my bed. So we have light flickers, scratches, crash to the ground. And then the collar starts beeping, scares the hell out of the dog because he thinks he's going to get zapped. I don't know if he got zapped or not, but it starts beeping and going off as he's sitting on the opposite side of the house. It was bananas.
You have a ghost in your bathroom, though, right? That frequents there?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that follows me around. I think it's Gertrude. She's a little old lady. But I sense her a lot in the bathroom, and I don't know why. But another thing, too, is so we had problems with our sewer, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So, like, we hired a plumber, we did the Roto-Rooter, we did all this stuff, and they ended up taking the toilet off and going through, and they pulled out a full-ass pair of children's blue jeans that were crammed into the pipe in my bathroom. Talk about weird. And they looked old. They were not like a new pair of jeans. They had like the little flowers and little ruffles on the bottom. So they were obviously girls' pants. And they were just crammed into the plumbing of my toilet.
And you don't have anyone over your house that would wear those?
No,
like
and this
visiting.
is like right after I bought the house. And I know the people who lived here before me, and they did not have a little girl. She had a grandson who's my son's age. And then before that, another family lived there who built the house and renovated it and everything, and they didn't have any kids. Like, their kids were all grown.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And then the last couple days, my lights have been going crazy. That same lamp's been freaking out. I even changed the bulb and everything to make sure, and it's still happening. And then it was doing it when my boyfriend was over. And then what's weird is like, I've been in my room. I pretty much live in my room. And he came over and he was like, something's off. I can feel it. Like, it just feels like something's off. And I was like, well, maybe it's because I'm manic, because I just switched shifts like 2 days ago. So now I'm in manic mode. I'm like, maybe that's what you're picking up on. And he was like, maybe. He's like, but it's just, something is just not right. So then I go to get something out of my kitchen and I walk out and it's literally like walking into a wall. It is like heavy. You can feel it in your bones. And it's almost like it's deadly quiet. And my house is not quiet. We have 2 dogs, 2 cats, a teenage boy, and we live in town. So there's always noise. But it's dead silent in there. And then it's just like this eerie feeling almost. Like it's almost like not super negative, like, oh, I'm scared, but it's almost like something is uncomfortable.
Like a heaviness.
Yeah. And so then I'm like, well, what the hell? Well, then my kid walks out and I don't say anything to him. And he was like, man, Mom, it feels weird in here. Like something's not right. It's so quiet. It's just creepy. He's like, but we all 3 felt it today. So before we started, I was saging my studio to see if I could help. I think I need to get the rest of the house because it's still kind of, it feels like someone's in here with me. And if I still had my wall behind me, I would have had my sensors up because it is like, whatever it is, feels like it is really trying to get out or at least communicate in some form. Yeah. So now might be a really good time to do one of those spirit boxes.
I actually ordered a new sage candle. I don't know if it's getting delivered. Amazon may have lied because they said today by 10 and it's 9:40. If I get one, we can do one.
Well, I just use my phone.
No, I just wanted a new sage candle.
Oh, sage candle. Gotcha.
Now it says now expected by 8 a.m. tomorrow. We're sorry for your delay.
Lame. Boo. And my headphones this whole time keep crackling.
Oh, that's weird.
Like it sounds like an old, like when you hear like World War II, World War I, like radio transmissions, or when you listen to Amelia Earhart's transmissions, where that's the weird static sound like across the radio, like a ham radio. That's what my headphones keep doing. And it's happened before. I've had something where I've been recording and it's like going, shh. And then I swear to Bob, I heard, hello?
Yeah.
And I go, hello, like, because I didn't even think about it. I was just like, hi. And then it was like, shh. And then it was gone. But it was like static. And then it was hello. And then static. And it was gone.
She was like, hello, I stuffed my jeans in your toilet.
Yeah. And it was definitely a woman.
Oh, that's odd.
So I don't know if it's maybe somebody that I know. But yeah. So that's just a couple things that have been happening in my neck of the woods.
And we had our Robert the Doll that we did for Creep It Weird the other day.
I was going to mention that.
And I checked the recording. There was maybe 50 words total between me and you. It was like almost wiped clean. And I was like, okay, we got to do it again. I went to go set it up. And then I'm like, the whole recording's here. I was like, okay.
While we were recording for Creep It Weird, it was bad internet connection. You kept freezing. I kept freezing. There was a lag between the two of us. We were just having all these difficulties. And it wasn't until we hit record and started talking. When we did the intros, it was fine. When we talked beforehand, fine. The moment, now it's saying I need to reconnect because I just said something. So there we go. It literally, as soon as I said that, then it was buffering. And I was like, okay, so maybe it was something on my end that was causing problems. But it was as soon as we start talking about the topic, which I love how I keep avoiding the word. But we start talking about it. And then all of a sudden everything goes haywire. And then when we got off, everything was fine. Like as soon as we stopped, it was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some weird happenings.
What was it, like 3 or 4 days later? The whole recording was there.
Maybe it just needed time to slow down.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it was very, very weird. I'm glad it came out though.
Yeah.
We have invisible participants. We have extra guests most nights that you just don't know about. But yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you for listening. If you need more content or just want to help support the podcast, head on over to patreon.com and search Ouch, Was That a Ghost? If you need some snazzy merch, you can find it at crowdmade.com by searching Ouch, Was That a Ghost? If you have a story you'd like to share, you can email it to ouchwasthataghost@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and all the other social media platforms under Ouch, Was That a Ghost?
Help me.
All links can also be found on ouchwasthataghost.com.